I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Maricopa Community College District Governing Board for December 12th, 2017. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Daniel Segovia.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this evening we're going to start our meeting with music. We have Mrs. Livingston on the phone there. We're going to start our meeting this evening with music provided by Chandler Gilbert Community College's Vocal Jazz Ensemble, directed by Mr. Marcus Denton. Last night I attended a concert at Chandler Gilbert that Mr. Denton directed. And when the concert was over, I had about 20 of the choir members came to my house to visit a little while afterwards, and I've had 6 of my children have been taught by Mr. Denton over the years, and they were teasing my daughter, who will not be taught by Mr. Denton because he's going to make this his last year, I understand. And they were teasing her last night that she's going to miss the Denton experience. So I am excited tonight that once again we get to participate in the Denton experience. Please proceed.
I'd like to introduce Tyler Durfee and Xander Dennell and Michelle Moyer, who are 3 members of our 14-member ensemble. Will be performing for you.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Hoping that you
been
drop
so
in.
very
I'll hold
nice.
your hands, they're just like
My mother
ice.
will start to
Beautiful,
worry.
what's your
And
hurry?
father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better
Beautiful,
scurry.
please don't
Well, maybe
hurry.
just a few minutes
Never felt
more.
quite like this before.
So late at night.
Baby, it's bad out there.
We turn down the
The cabs to be hot out there.
I wish I knew how
touch my
to
hand.
break the spell.
How can you do this thing to
I
me?
have to say no, no, no,
Think
sir.
I might
At least I'm gonna say that I
What's the sense of
tried.
hurting my
I really
pride?
can't
Oh,
stay.
baby, don't hold out. Ah, but it's cold outside.
I simply must go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is
But
no.
baby, it's cold outside.
The welcome has
So lucky that you
been
dropped
so
in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that
My
storm.
sister will be
Gosh, your lips
suspicious.
taste
My brother
delicious.
will be there at the
Waves upon the
door.
tropical
My maid
shore.
advance my day's
Gosh, your lips are
misses. But baby,
delicious.
you're so hard to ignore.
Never such a blizzard before.
Got to get home.
Baby, you're out there.
See, lend me your
Has to be hot out
coat.
there.
You've really been great,
When you touch my
but
hand.
don't you see?
How can you do this thing to
There's
me?
bound to be talk
Think of my
tomorrow.
lifelong
At least there
sorrow.
will be plenty
If you cut
implied.
pneumonia and
I really can't
oh baby, don't hold out.
stay.
Ah, but it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside.
We can just pretend it's winter, right? Tyler will sing Let It Snow.
brought some corn for Papa. The light. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the fire is slowly down, and the lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
We'll leave you with have yourself a very merry wait.
Glad I'm not the only
Merry
one.
little Christmas. And Tyler, you can see, is very versatile. He'll be holding the mic this time.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Thank you, Mr. Denton. Thank you, students. Substitutions, we have Maria Weiss for Stephen Gonzalez. Student life reports, Phoenix College.
Good evening, President Hendricks, members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests. My name is Daniel Segovia. I am the chair for Student Leadership Council at Phoenix College. My major is forensic technology. I will be graduating in 2018. I'm a first-generation college student, and I'm honored to stand before you to talk about our 2017-2018 school semester. We would like to share with you some highlights from the 2017 spring and fall semesters, including social justice, community outreach, club highlights, and our plans for 2018. Phoenix College has 30 active clubs for students in attendance and is going strong as a flagship for Maricopa Community College District. Our campus is continuously busy with campus activities and community events since we are the heart of Phoenix College. Thank you.
My name is Robert Ritchie, I'm the communication manager for SLC. My major is criminal justice, and I'm all set to graduate in 2018. In our presentation last year, we noted that social justice would become a focus for our campus. We created a social justice organization, and it successfully facilitated a number of events this year. We had multiple fish bowls focusing on Black Lives Matter, Asian identity, the differently abled, and Native Americans, to name just a few. These groups hosted fish bowls to share their firsthand experiences with discrimination, oppression, and prejudice with those of us who attended. But our highlight event was the Tunnel of Oppression in April. The Tunnel of Oppression is an interactive theater experience in which the participants walk through different scenes designed to display the oppression of marginalized groups. We had approximately 645 students, staff, and community members pass through the tunnel, and thanks to the help of our faculty, we are also able to have classes attend as well. We hope to have another event this semester, and we hope that all of you will attend. We continue to be recognized by the Anti-Defamation League as a No Place for Hate institution. This partnership allows us the opportunity to promote inclusion in our campus during our new student orientations and in-class presentations. Overall, social justice has increased both in our campus and in our community. With this new awareness, we look forward to making a difference on our campus and in our communities.
Evening, everyone. I'm Sky Martinez. Oh, my bad. Vice Chair of SLC. I will be studying animation and getting my degree in 2019. Phoenix College is committing to engaging our students and taking care of the whole student and their needs. Our campus community is one of a kind. We support our students through campus and community organizations. Our PC Pantry Club continues to support our hungry students with non-perishable lunches consisting of a cup of noodles and granola bar. We are working with St. Mary's Food Bank to provide healthier and more sustainable options for students and the surrounding community. During the spring semester, we provided over 160,000 pounds of food to over 18,000 households of students and community members. In October, the Social Justice Organization and the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society hosted a 2-day hunger banquet, a first for Phoenix College. We had over 250 students, faculty, and staff attend the banquets. This hunger banquet opened the eyes of those who attended and provided a clear picture of how hunger actually affects everyone in the world. Our clubs and organizations were active in food and clothing drives, awareness walks, and recognition walks. Our Student Leadership Council and the International Organization donated to the victims of this year's devastating hurricane that affected Texas and Puerto Rico. They collected water, food, and clothing for the victims. Our National Alliance on Mental Illness, otherwise known on campus as our NAMI chapter, participated in the annual NAMI walks to promote awareness of mental wellness and raise money for future research and treatment. Being active on our campus and in our community is beneficial to Phoenix College's continuing success.
President Hendricks, I lost you.
We're still here.
Okay, good.
Good evening. My name is Kenny Trahan. Good evening. My name is Kenny Johansson. I'm the Special Events Manager for SFC, and my major is interior design, and I should be graduating in 2019. Participation in the Phoenix College Club gives opportunities for students to practice interpersonal leadership skills and grow into competent leaders. Being a member of a club means college is not just about education. Developing interest in clubs on campus helps our students learn about themselves, creates a family environment, and only aids in retention. This year, Bells Astronomy Space Science and Engineering Club, or BASE, had a stellar year. They are working with NASA Ascend grant this year. The group of students had the opportunity to receive specialized software and engineering training to create a near space payload to send into the atmosphere to gather data for research. This is a great hands-on learning experience for those students who are seeking their degrees in the aerospace field. METRA is a national organization established in the 1960s to promote higher education among Latino youths and to fight for civil rights. At Phoenix College, METRA is really active in campus events in the community. Among these things, METRA has mentored high school students to support their dreams in higher education and actively participated in voter registration drives to promote getting out to vote. All of the clubs were called to create a sense of community within its members and encourage members to work hard to stay in school and to complete the education goals successfully.
Good evening. My name is Marie Matelsky, and I'm the secretary here at SLC. My major is psychology with a research focus, and I am both a survivor and a veteran who is graduating and transferring to ASU this spring. Service learning will be a major focus here at Phoenix College's Student Life and Leadership. We are in the process of working with our faculty to develop a model that will work here at Phoenix College. We plan to have a pantry set up to service the students who have need with fresh food and weekend food boxes. In furtherance of this goal, we are expanding our relationship with St. Mary's Food Bank to shop for food on a bi-monthly basis and share that food with those that are in need. In February, we plan to host a living library at Phoenix College. A living library allows the participant the opportunity to check out a guest and understand their story and learn from them. This will be a first for us, but we hope it'll have a huge impact on all those who attend. The Student Leadership Council plans to create Ask Me tents throughout the academic year to support their peers with help with student retention. Their plan is to be available to answer all questions and connect students with the resources that are appropriate to help them succeed throughout the school year.
This is Phoenix College 2017 in a nutshell. We would like to thank you tonight for your time and your continued support for Student Life and Leadership at Phoenix College. We wish you all a happy holidays. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, students of Phoenix College. Emeritus awards, and recognitions. President Labor Reese, would you like to introduce your honorees? Please approach the podium.
President Hendricks, unfortunately, none of our faculty were able to join us this evening, so we will have a celebration on campus for our faculty. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chancellor report. Chancellor, would
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks, and members of the board. Before I provide an update on the transformation since the last time I updated the board 2 weeks ago, I would like to use this opportunity to introduce our new Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs and Provost, Dr. Carla Fisher, who is sitting to my left. Welcome to Maricopa. And also would like to say thank you for excellent service to Maricopa to Vice Chancellor Gay Murphy, who will be retiring at the end of this month. So this is her last official board meeting. And we appreciate all that you have done. I have appreciated the counsel you have provided, and we wish you a very successful and actually relaxing retirement time, Gay. And also would like to thank Gloria Smith for her service as the board secretary, even though she is not here tonight. Gloria has decided to retire again, and so she, for personal reasons, so she wanted all of you to know that she appreciated the time that she worked with all of you, board members, and all of us in Maricopa, and we appreciate many, many, many years of service. So let's say thank you to Gloria also in absentia. And transformation update, we presented a detailed update to the board on November 28th. It's only 2 weeks ago. So since then, the teams have been busy defining the scope of work of many of the projects and working on setting budgets for those projects. And 8 of those projects are going to the steering committee tomorrow, actually, and they include a new advising model, financial aid, contact center, call center build out, and identifying meta majors to frame the guided pathways. There are 12 more projects that the committees are working on, including course mapping, integration of developmental education, and the Advanced Manufacturing Institute. So we will be taking a break from work after this week. So we look forward to coming back in January and renewing our efforts on the transformation. So I hope to provide a more detailed report at the end of the month. And would like to say to all of us here and to the board, as we conclude our fall semester and take a break, that is the privilege, the gift that we have in academic work, that we take clean breaks and then we get a new beginning, that we use this time for reflection, to be grateful for all of the things that we have in life, health, family, employment, school, homes, and all the things that are gifts to all of us, and a time to renew and to come back just full of energy to continue the good work that we know we must do, Maricopa, for all of our students. And thank you for the opportunity tonight, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chancellor. Citizens Interim. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board. In compliance with the open meeting law, the governing board will neither discuss nor take action on issues raised during this portion of the agenda. When necessary, issues will be taken under advisement and placed on subsequent agendas. Presenting concerns to the board and the free expression of ideas should be communicated with decorum and respect. Uncivil or disorderly conduct is not permitted. The use of derisive or insulting language or the direction of remarks that defame, attack, or harass an individual may serve as cause for the board's president to direct that the speaker immediately conclude his or her remarks. We have 2 people that have requested to speak tonight. Lorena Austin.
Good evening, President Hendricks, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, CEC, and guests. My name is Lorena Austin, student body president for the Associated Students at Mesa Community College, or ASMCC. On behalf of the students at Mesa Community College, I want to thank you for the work you do for the colleges within the Maricopa system. I would also like to recognize the staff, faculty, and students in attendance today who support the students of MCC and those who have expressed their support during the past few weeks. I am here today to address comments made by some board members at the governing board meeting held last month. I was in attendance at this meeting during which an agenda item came to a vote concerning a proposed land lease for the AAEC High School at Mesa Community College, or MCC. While I have no issues with concerns brought forward regarding the land lease itself, it became apparent very quickly that student-driven events were being considered as deciding factors of our school's operation. As student body president, I have the honor and obligation to address concerns on behalf of my constituents who are surprised when they viewed the video from last month's board meeting. Based on what was said during the meeting, it is my understanding none of the specific concerns addressed had been investigated prior to being brought up at the meeting, and it seems as though the integrity of MCC's leadership was being called into question, and I'm here to address a few of those concerns. First, I'd like to address the Know Your Rights training provided on November 22nd, 2017. The event was put on by ASMCC Student Government, not Student Life. Student Life helped in the capacity that it does all clubs and organizations on campus. Snack food was provided using student fees allocated to student government based on enrollment. All the snacks provided cost $100, and the tubs which held the snacks were purchased from the dollar store and donated to the college. My executive vice president will be going over the specifics of the Know Your Rights training and its importance to our students. However, I must address the unfounded implication that MCC supports hate speech and endangers our police departments. I have spoken with some of our public safety officers who attended the event, and they did not feel threatened, but rather welcomed the conversation of public knowledge. The concerns about the nature of our collaboration with our own public safety and local police departments is unfounded, as evidenced by the fact that the very next day after the Know Your Rights training, ASMCC on Thanksgiving morning co-sponsored the Turkey Bowl at the MCC Southern and Dobson campus. This event was co-sponsored with Arizona Law Enforcement Outreach and Support. The purpose of this event was to provide meals to our first responders and their families, as well as faculty, staff, and students. The food was donated by Grand Canyon University. Secondly, I'd like to address the situation regarding Congressman Biggs' scheduled visit to campus. Congressman Biggs was set to speak to students about national debt on November 21st, 2017. ASMCC supported his visit by ensuring the event information was available to students through our social media accounts, Canvas, and app. We encourage all elected officials to visit our campus to help students stay civically engaged. The college received an email explaining there was a chatter from organizations not affiliated with MCC, indicating they may possibly come to protest Congressman Biggs' visit. His chief of staff explained in his email they were personally unprepared for the event. In this case, the security measures were limited by time. Congressman Biggs' chief of staff was apologetic and stated that the congressman looked forward to visiting our campus again. This was a logistical mishap rather than an ideological one. Lastly, I wanted to address the sexual health resources we are able to provide on campus, identified at the last meeting as a misappropriation of taxpayer dollars. The feminine hygiene products and condoms were donated to MCC, where the average age of students is 26, with no cost to taxpayers. Based on what was said at the last meeting, there seems to be concern with high school students seeing condoms. With all due respect, all students have a choice to take them or not, and I assume parents who will be sending their children to the AAEC charter school understand they're also sending their children to an institution of higher education where they may be exposed to a variety of perspectives and thoughts. Condoms have been proven to reduce teen pregnancies, sexually transmitted infections, and combat AIDS. ASMCC is very fortunate to have these free, life-saving resources available to our students and community. When we denigrate the promotion of positive sexual health, we are not holding our college institutions to a higher standard. We are limiting resources for students. I feel I must address comments made regarding MCC's leadership. These comments concern me greatly. MCC student learning outcomes can be found in our 4 C's: communication, critical thinking, civic engagement, and cultural and global engagement. The purpose of an institution of higher education is to empower our students to be critical thinkers, become local and global citizens in a pluralistic society, and become productive tax-paying members of our community. Efforts to govern or hinder academic freedom and the rights of our students to learn places those in jeopardy. A governing body which fails to prioritize academic freedom insinuates that students should be silenced about events directly affecting them. In conclusion, I want to leave you with this quote shared with me by a faculty member at MCC. Civil society creates public space for people to interact with one another and grow familiar with its unique identities around them. We become smoother by bumping into each other's rough edges. We would like to see better alignment and collaboration with the campuses and the students governing board members have been elected to represent. We are Maricopa taxpayers too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Austin. Our next speaker is Jacqueline White.
Good evening, everyone. President Hendricks, members of the board, Chancellor Marie Harper Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests. My name is Jacqueline White, and I have the honor of serving my 20,000 student constituents at Mesa Community Colleges as Mesa Community College's Student Body Vice President. I'm here today to address statements made in a prior governing board meeting about MCC's student leadership in reference to a Know Your Rights panel and forum that we hosted. I would first like to begin by saying how grateful and proud I am to be standing before you as a democratically elected student official. In my position, I have had the pleasure of working with and representing our academically talented and diverse student population throughout this school year and the year before this. With my position comes responsibility. Therefore, it is my duty to advocate for the students on campus, and 550 of those students are international students. After the travel ban was instated this year, I saw that our students who were being impacted needed something to confide in, somebody to console them. And so there was a desire to support and console them from our student government. So last school year, student government gave them the platform they needed to address their concerns at an international student panel. The feedback we received from the students who attended this panel was so positive. The students came up to us and other members of the school and said they were so grateful for the opportunity to speak, and they felt a sense of community behind them. Another successful event we put on was our DACA panel, where DACA beneficiaries shared their stories and our elected officials, Mesa Mayor John Giles and Vice Mayor David Luna, voiced their bipartisan support for these students. As a follow-up to all of these great events, we released a student safety survey where, to our surprise, over half of those surveys yielded responses of students saying they felt unsafe and threatened on campus. As a result, the Know Your Rights event was a student-led initiative that was held in response to the survey and a culmination of all concerns voiced by our students. Furthermore, student government understands and absolutely respects the need for law enforcement and appreciates the transparency that goes with that authority. With that, in a society where there is so much division, we wanted to stem away from this division and establish community relations. So we invited Immigration's Custom Enforcement to speak to student leaders on policy and to foster a community relationship with us. Pursuant to the 2011 Department of Homeland Security Memorandum, they requested the meeting be off campus since it is a sensitive location and they wanted to avoid negative press, which is indicative of why they were not present at the Know Your Rights panel. Our meeting was such a success that one of the officials we met with shared something with me in an email that I think is important and relevant to say today. He said to me, "This meeting exemplified how community members and government agencies can and should continue an open dialogue, even when others may think the two organizations are miles apart, and not just what they think, but how they think." With all that being said, as a student and a taxpayer, I was incredibly disheartened to hear such negative and unsupportive statements made about our student leadership. In the future, all that we respectfully request is that before such negativity is said in public, board members consult students beforehand so that further miscommunications and misrepresentations do not occur. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. White. We will now move to consideration of the consent agenda. All items with an asterisk are consent matters unless they're removed from the consent agenda at this time. Any item may be removed from the agenda by the chancellor as a matter of administrative prerogative or by the governing board upon motion duly made, seconded, and approved. Consent agenda items will be approved by one motion and there will be no specific discussion of these items. Items removed from the consent agenda will be approved during the consideration of the non-consent agenda. Do any board members wish to remove any items from the consent? Mr. Gutierrez.
11.1.
11.1. Any others? Okay, we will proceed with voting on the consent agenda with the exception of item 11.1. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed by saying nay. Motion passes. Consent agenda passes. Item 11.1. Approve changes to specially funded policies relating to salary administration. Mr. Gutierrez, I'm assuming you have comments on this.
Ms. Brown, indeed. I understand the compelling reason this is before us, and I understand the urgency that has been created around it. I direct everyone to a memorandum sent to us by the Vice Chancellor, and I will quote, "If the policies we have submitted for your consideration are not approved, we will not be able to continue work on the HR systems as planned."
Mr. Gutierrez, I think your microphone may be off. People can hear you.
You don't really want me to start again, do you? You do. Let me start again on the quote, if I may, if I can find it again. If the policies we have submitted for your consideration are not approved, we will not be able to continue work on the HR systems as planned, and it will be necessary to undo the configurations of those systems. This will cause us to lose substantial investments made to this point, unquote. And I share that with you because it is a compelling reason to go forward with this, even though this is incomplete. We adopted as a board and have continued to fund again and again and again the effort to arrive at a classification system. And the reason we did that, I think for most of us, at least in my case, and I believe the record will show in the majority of us, is that we became convinced that the step system that we had in place was no longer financially viable, given that the legislature has taken us to zero, and given the mood on this board and in this county for adopting further tax increases of even the slightest amount. And so it became evident that we had to find another way of rewarding our employees, a way that was consistent and fair. In order for that way to be consistent and fair, the major portion was to be performance pay. That is, that there would be descriptions and competencies that would be arrived at. And if arrived at, would be rewarded. That would substitute for the STEP program. So what is before us, instead of being a complete package, lacks the most important element: the competencies and the descriptions necessary for an employee to understand what he or she must accomplish in order to receive performance pay. So we are adopting policies that are incomplete. That's what's before us. And the compelling reason is because the administration, specifically HR, has not been able to complete its job. Had they completed their job, we would have a complete package before us. It is not complete. Yet, the argument is, if we don't pass it, a huge investment will be lost. I served many years in the legislature, and during those years, there was a method of argument, a shtick, if you will, for those who opposed a specific piece of legislation. We used to call it the lizard approach. And essentially went like this: if this bill passes, horrible things will happen. The earth will open up, and a lizard come out of the ground and eat us all up. This is such a horrible bill. What you have here is the lizard argument. If this doesn't pass, this huge investment will be lost, time will be lost, and everyone will suffer. The fact of the matter is, adopting this will put every employee into a state of anxiety. There is no STEP program, it goes away. But there is no clear pathway, no direction for any employee for arriving at performance pay contained in these policies. Now, I understand the compelling reason, and I understand and suspect it's going to pass. But I didn't want it to pass without going on the record as saying we have a question of competence here. We've pointed it out before, and I'm not the only one who's pointed it out. We have a question of competence here. This shouldn't be before us 3/4 finish. It should be before us as a complete package, and it is not. And so, Mr. President, I will vote no.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Any other comments from the board? Seeing no other comments, we will vote. Those in favor Oh, sorry, we're gonna need a motion. I forgot to get a motion.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
That would help. We can get a motion.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Okay. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
The ayes have it. Item 11.1 passes. First readings. 12.1, employment reviews. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll move to monitoring reports. Item 13.1, review final budget. Oh, my microphone's off. Maybe that'll help. 13.1, review final budget. Any questions or comments? Mr. Sarr.
Just the fact that this is our formal meeting, but we've had numerous discussions about these items prior to tonight in open meetings. So I don't want people in the audience to feel that we're banging through this without any thought or information. And we've had plenty on the budget. We always do, and we'll continue before we pass the final budget in May.
Thank you. Any further comments? Move on to employee group reports. Faculty Executive Council, no report. Thank you. External community reports, Mr. Sarr.
External or governing board reports?
External community reports.
I'll pass on that. I'll wait till the governing board member reports.
Okay. Then we'll move on to governing board reports. Ms. McGrath.
No report, sir.
Mr. Gutierrez.
No report.
Mrs. Haber.
No report, but I would like to wish Gay Murphy a very happy retirement, and thank you for all the help you've given me. And I'd like to wish everybody here a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Mrs. Livingston.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, I wanted to wish everyone a happy first night of Hanukkah and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Second of all, I wanted to invite everyone to come out this weekend to the Maricopa Community College. I guess it's going to be in one of the bigger areas. We're going to go shopping with the cops, and local law enforcement helps. A woman by the name of Cindy Hill helps, and they promote and give kids to underserved populations all over the state. This is the third time this has been done this year, and our community colleges help. So a big shout out for all the colleges that get involved. I think it's been Scottsdale Community College, Mesa Community College, and maybe 2 at Scottsdale. So thank you very much, and come on out. It's going to be a great time this weekend. Thanks. That's it.
Thank you. Dr. Thor.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. This week, I'm having the privilege to co-facilitate the League for Innovation's Executive Leadership Institute, which is a week-long program for aspiring college presidents. And of the 36 participants, 5 of them are from the Maricopa Community Colleges. So I think this board and this district should be very proud at the abundance of talent among our administrative staff. And I also would like to wish everyone the happiest of holidays.
Mr. Sarr.
Ditto on the holidays. It's coming up way too fast. And I'm probably going to be that bah humbug person again this year because I don't have time to do much else. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about the future a little bit. 3 weeks from today will be January 2nd, 2018. That means 2020 is but 2 years away. And 2022 is forward. I'll tell you why that's so important. We're going into a world that technology has changed dramatically. I don't know anybody in here that hasn't looked at their cell phone in the last half hour. Me included. So it is part of our life, and technology is going to change in many ways. As it affects our district, obviously the classroom is going to change dramatically as we take into consideration everything from artificial intelligence to videos and so forth. But let's talk about our infrastructure just briefly. We have 5 square miles of parking lots in the district. That's a lot of asphalt. And our district facilities people are all working on their 10-year facility plans. Well, we've had trouble trying to figure out our next bond election and how we can identify the needs that we will try to attempt to solve through capital and through the bond. Much less try to figure out what the needs will be from an infrastructure standpoint. The biggest thing that we see around this campus, almost every day, I've rarely come to the campus without seeing a vehicle with no driver. The autonomous vehicles are headquartered down the street, which makes this kind of a headquarters for that. But I didn't realize how fast things were going a year ago, and I've spent a lot of time researching that just because it affects a great deal our billion-dollar company that we have here at Maricopa. Every day we have 50,000 students on an average day that come onto our campuses, all and many of them bringing their own vehicle, and they park on that asphalt. Just to give you some idea of the nearness of autonomous vehicle traffic, Tesla is going to implement their ride-sharing autonomous vehicles in 2 years. In 2 years, you'll be able to dial up a Tesla. Now, you better have a checkbook with you, but that's pretty cool. On a different note, Google is going to implement their vehicle fleet worldwide in 2 years. These will be driverless vehicles. You'll walk in to a vehicle with no driver, tell it where you want it to go, and it's going to take you there. And then you pay a fee for that ride, just as you do today for Uber and Lyft and a taxi cab. In America, Ford is going to have their ride sharing in 2021, 3 years from now. And Uber will have fully operated taxi cab service without drivers in 3 years. So this is all going to affect all of those out there. A 5-year-old today will never drive a car. That's the reality of things in the future. So within the next 10 years, our research predicts that all transportation will be driverless, and we will no longer need that 5 square miles of parking. So I appreciate the fact that Arlen and his facility team throughout the district has already started talking about this. And I look forward to their research to determine what expenditures in capital needs we will have over the next few years. Keep in mind, we're talking 4 years before we don't have to drive a car again. So it's pretty amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saar. Hats off to Chandler Gilbert for Fiddler on the Roof here a few weeks ago. There wasn't a seat in the auditorium the night I was there. It was packed with people trying to get in the back and stand in the aisles to watch. Unbelievable job the students did. I had the chance to attend the Symphony of the Southwest, which was accompanied by the Mark Denton's group, the choir, the group that was here first. I don't know how he set that up where the Chandler Gilbert Choir got to accompany the symphony at the Mesa Arts Center, but that was a fantastic opportunity for the students that participated in that. And Wellington Girl, I think, was yesterday at Scottsdale Community College. Boy, what a play to watch. It's not quite a theater in the round, but it's close to it. But the actors were unbelievable. Just it's probably too late for me to go see it on my recommendation, but it was all about politics. It was fantastic, and really enjoyed that. Congratulations to Gay Murphy. Hope you enjoy your retirement. I envy you. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm thinking about it. And it's an exciting time coming up for you. And I don't know if Gloria Smith is watching or not, but if she is, I want to thank her for all that she's done. As a new board member, she was tremendous help to me as I've tried to get up to speed. And I wish her well in her retirement, and I hope her mother's doing well. Next meetings, January 9th, election of officers, governing boardroom, 5 o'clock p.m. 5:30, January 9th, agenda review. January 9th, 6:30, committee meeting if needed. January 23rd, regular board meeting. Unless there's other comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.